here today Deborah Saunders, who is the chair of the board for ClaimsXchange. Good morning, Deborah. How are you?
I'm doing really well, Sydney. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. So I want to pose some questions to you so that our membership might be able to get to know you just a little bit better. And I think that the best place to start is to find out exactly what do you do right now and who do you do it for?
I manage insured claims programs for Comcast, NBC Universal.
And so what does that entail?
It is managing the processes by which claims are made under all different lines of insurance for the companies. So most of what I do is taking care of running the casualty programs, the workers' compensation, auto liability, general liability, but we also get claims for media liability and property and all the things that you would imagine for a large, complex company that operates internationally.
So is this something that you always wanted to do, or did you go to school for this? How did you get there?
None of that. I mean, it certainly was not a career path or a career that I had ever envisioned. I majored in environmental science in undergraduate school, and I thought that I would go to law school and practice environmental law and work for an organization like the Environmental Defense Fund. But after I graduated with my environmental science degree, I thought, well, I'll work as a paralegal for a year to see if I like the legal field before I go to law school. And with apologies to all my very good friends who love practicing law, I realized right away it wasn't for me. And I didn't have a second choice in mind, and I didn't know what to do. And I got blown off course for about 13 years. I worked in retail, which I did really well at, actually really liked, but I didn't see that as the way I was going to play out my working life. So I answered an ad for a claim representative for Travelers Insurance, not because I was interested in the job, but because it offered benefits, and it was right across the street from my apartment, so it was convenient while my car wasn't reliable. And I thought, I'll hang out there until I figure out what I want to do next. And some people will say that they were hooked on a job from the very first day. I was hooked on this job during the interview when I found out all the different things that a claim representative has to know about business and science, a little bit what I had studied, and medicine and negotiation and mechanics and all of the things that are specific to whatever loss you're investigating. You get to be at least a temporary expert on those things. And for someone who is a lifelong learner, that was great. But the minute I was hooked was when one of the people that I talked with, who only asked me one question, said, "Are you nosy?" And I thought, oh my gosh, this is a job interview. How do I answer that question? What do you mean by nosy? And I said, I'm curious. And he said, no, you have to be nosy to do this job. And my inner voice was saying, yes, this is going to be such a good match. I am so nosy. And it was a good match. And what he meant by that, I found out, was that you have to keep digging and asking questions and peeling back layers of the onion and being curious and detailed and persistent and tenacious. And I loved that job from the very first day. And that was 30 years ago. And there have really only been a handful of days that I haven't looked forward to going to work. From that job, I got hired by one of the insured accounts for whom I handled claims. So I went to Campbell Soup and had a great time working there. And from Campbell Soup, with the experience of having worked at an insurer and an employer, went to Comcast, which was not a larger employer at the time, but certainly is now.
Oh my gosh, that's fascinating. But I have to tell you what's really funny about the conversation that you were just talking about that you had at Travelers is that I've known you for a long time. And when I first met you, I've learned since I first met you that you have this amazing gait when you speak, and you tend to look up in the air as if to find the perfect word in a sentence. And when you did that with me the first few times that I met you, I'm like, oh my God, is she trying to think of a word to dumb down what she's trying to say to me? And I'm like, this is insane. What is it? What is it? And I just find out that that's who you are after knowing you for so many years, that you are like a walking thesaurus. You are the person I go to when I'm like, I don't know how to say this. You know just the right word. So it doesn't surprise me that when in your head, he said, are you nosy, and you're like, well, what can I say that would be, yeah, nosy, maybe not nosy, but maybe something curious. Yes, I'm curious. So that doesn't surprise me. And it totally goes to who you are, because I know that about you. What are you, during this time that we have right now, we're all kind of in this, what we're calling this time. What are you finding yourself most grateful for?
I love that now when I talk to especially my colleagues, more so than my friends, my colleagues, and I get to see maybe their hair isn't perfect. Maybe they didn't do their makeup today. Maybe their pets are running in front of their screens. Maybe their children are running around like maniacs. I hear the doorbell ringing. I hear a washing machine going. I kind of love the crumbling of a little bit of that professional facade. And I think it's such a good thing that we are thinking of each other as real people during a time when we need that the most.
Right, like right now, we're both in our homes, and I feel like I'm interjected into your house, with your husband and your pets. I was waiting for one of the cats to jump up on your lap, or the dog to jump up on your lap.
They're right here.
So I know what that feels like, and you do get to. I think there's a sense of getting to know them in a way that we haven't had the opportunity to do that, because you come to work and talk about it, but you're not really there. So I see what you're saying, and I do appreciate that as well. I appreciate you, because you are part of my network. You are one of those people that I have called frequently in the last several months, especially most recently. And I appreciate you. I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate what you bring to the industry. I appreciate what you bring to ClaimsXchange. I appreciate you very much. And I look forward to seeing you in person very soon, having that coffee at your kitchen table like I was supposed to this week.
I can't.
But until then, have a great day, and be safe and be well, okay?
Thank you. I will. You too.